All right, guys, I hope y'all are ready to do some damage because we need to get rid of some palettes. As I've said before, I'm not going to be decluttering any of my high-end eyeshadow palettes. I love them. I collect them. Same with my Wet n Wild. They're just things that I collect and I enjoy, and I have them out on display. I can see all of them. They're not hidden away in a drawer. But when it comes to drugstore eyeshadow palettes, I need to be a lot less forgiving because to be completely honest, I reach for them less than my high-end palettes. It's just, I get excited using a high-end palette. I get excited using drugstore too, but there's a lot of things that in my collection that I just do not use, that I do not need, that need to go to a good home, to somebody who could use them. So let's go. All right, guys, I did get the new spring collection from Wet n Wild. I am going to be keeping all of these. I really do enjoy these. I need to start up my Wet n Wild Wednesday videos because there's so many videos I need to start up again. If I let myself, I would be putting up 7 videos a week, but I can't do that. I need to stick to 5. I think that's good, but so those will. For those of you who haven't seen my Wet n Wild collection, I'll link it somewhere. I am going to be keeping all of these. These are the CoverGirl True Nakeds. I love these. I think they're great quality in the drugstore. Great for travel. I have the nudes. I have the roses. I have, this one is... Oh, I'm sorry, this one's the Goldens and this one's the Nudes. This is such a great cool tone palette. I could have included that in that video, but I want to do a video on just the most complete drugstore palettes. This is definitely on that list. And then I did just get the jewels, and I haven't played around with this enough, so let me know if you want to see a look kind of encompassing these, because I will definitely do that. I think they're great quality. CoverGirl really knocked it out of the park. This I got because I heard it was a dupe for Art shadows. I'm going to have to respectfully disagree. I have a Theory palette. I'm just not impressed with this. This is gonna go. I have my Prism Elf Prism eyeshadow palette. This is really, really pretty, guys. This is gonna stay in the maybe pile. And then I also have this one, which is called Sunset. This one is also really, really pretty. I don't think the colors are quite as good. I'm on the fence about these, so I'm going to put those in the maybe pile. This is the Mad for Matte palette. This is a great palette, guys, but I never, ever, ever reach for this. I never reach for this. I'm gonna put give this to somebody who I know will love it. Actually, all of these e.l.f. palettes, they're all gonna go. I never reach for them. They just sit in my drawer, and I know there's people out there that would love them, friends of mine that would love those, so I am going to pass those on. Okay, these are going to be hard. These are the Neo Pearl palettes from Profusion. They were selling at Ulta for a little while, and they are great little shadows. Let me see here. They're really beautiful. They've got some bright pops of color. They were like $3. I don't think you can get them anymore. This one right here, the green one, is the one I did my very, very first tutorial ever on YouTube with. So I do have a special place in my heart for that one. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass these along. I'm going to keep the green one just for sentimental purposes. I kind of want to do a throwback where I go back and recreate my first tutorial. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. So I'm going to keep that one, and I'm going to pass these along. These are great shadows from Profusion. When I say that I know Profusion can do better, the Neo Pearls are definitely in that category. I wish these would have been permanent because they're absolutely fantastic, but I never reach for them, and they've got to go. The Avant Pop palette, this one is a Nouveau Chic. I absolutely adore this palette. I kind of want to get the other ones in the line, but I have so much damn eyeshadow, I really don't need it. I think this is such a subtly colorful and sophisticated and chic palette. I get really inspired when I see this palette. Beautiful. This color right here is got to be one of the most beautiful highlight shades ever. So super pretty. I am definitely keeping that. Very unique colors, and I love that palette. I do have all 3 of the L'Oreal palettes. I've got the La Palette Noir, which I think is a really interesting palette. I think if your wheelhouse is dark, smoky, dramatic blue eyes, I think you're gonna love this. I love these palettes. I really do. I like, I think the Noir is really nice quality. I'll get them in frame there. But I never use it. These 2 I love, and I don't use them very often, but I do reach for them occasionally. So I'm gonna be keeping those. Hi, PETA Cat. Hi, PETA. Come on. So I'm gonna keep La Palette Nude 1, La Palette Nude 2, and I'm going to be getting rid of the La Palette Noir. All right, guys, let's talk about some of these bigger palettes. This was actually sent to me by Profusion. It was their, like, one of their glamour books. I was not impressed with these eyeshadows at all. The shadows in the Neo Pearl palettes and some of these other palettes I'm going to talk about are far and away just in quality to these. These were chalky. They were hardly, you know, it was hard to get any color pigmentation up. That one is going to go. This one is the Treasure Box from Profusion. Again, the colors are beautiful. They're gorgeous colors, but I just never, I don't like them. They fade away. They're not really high impact. So for somebody who isn't really into a lot of bright colors, this might be good. It might be good for a younger person to start out with. I've got to say that the contouring powders are amazing and the blushes are amazing. The colors are really good, but they're not really high impact. I mean, they've got beautiful pigmentation when you swatch them, but you know, if it comes down to wearing them on the eye for any length of time, I mean, it's not, I really did test this palette out and try it in a bunch of different situations, and it just wasn't my cup of tea. So that's gonna go. I know they can do better than that. All right, let's talk about these Twinkle Twinkle palettes. These palettes usually come out around the holidays. They are beautiful. They're $1 palettes. And it's shameful, but I never ever use these. So these are the Twinkle palettes. I mean, the pigmentation on these is absolutely just phenomenal. I mean, they're a little bit, they kind of bunch up, but once you apply them to the eye, there's gonna be some fallout. They're really, for $1, these shadows are pretty ridiculous. They're really, really beautiful. I think what I'm gonna, but I never use them. Again, it's a matter of, do I use them? No, I don't. So what I think I'm gonna do is, I think this one, because it's such a unique color combination, I do wanna keep one of them. It's got that matte brown, that matte black, and those pretty kind of jewel tones in the middle. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this one, and then I'm gonna let these go. I mean, they're gorgeous. These, if you're interested in these come out, look at Walgreens and CVS around holiday time, and these come out as like, just with all that crazy holiday makeup that comes out. These are also Profusion palettes that I got for holiday time. These were $3 palettes. Again, these were beautiful. These are gorgeous shades. I have so much eyeshadow, guys. I never, ever, ever reach for them. Sorry, I mean, the pigmentation is beautiful on them, and there's some really gorgeous colors. These are called the Dazzle Me Petite kits. And I just know that there are people out there that would be so excited to have these, like these beautiful greens in here are stunning. The mattes, like that matte brown, they're crazy, crazy nice and pigmented. They're not the best quality. There's going to be some fallout, but you can get some I've gotten some really high pigmentation with these. So they're not bad palettes. I'm going to get rid of them. I'm trying to be good, guys. I'm trying to be good. I am going to go ahead and pass on these Sally Girl palettes. Again, I love the colors. I never use them. They're going. I am going to pass on this Hard Candy palette. This is in Birthday Suit. It's an all matte palette. I talked about this palette. Ooh, sorry. I talked about this palette in my favorite matte palettes from the drugstore, and I do really like this palette. I think there's a nice mix of warm and cool tones in here, but again, I never use it. I mean, the shadows are nice. They've got nice pigmentation on them. Oh, except for that deep dark matte navy. I mean, they've got nice color on them, but I never ever use it. Guys, I did it. I got suckered in. I know I said I wasn't after the Rock Nudes. I wasn't going to be suckered in by this formula anymore, but I did. I saw the colors and I was like, oh my God, that looks so beautiful. It looks like it's got so much potential. Guys, I'm just so disappointed in these palettes. I want to love them. Like when you swatch them, there's some that are beautiful, but they just do not translate to the eye. They just, I mean, and it's a shame because, I mean, that gold is really pretty, but that's about the only good shade in that palette. So that one is gonna go. All right, let me throw these. These are the, I did get rid of, in my last eyeshadow palette declutter, which I'll link, I did get rid of most of these quads, but I did keep these two from L'Oreal. These are the Color Reach quads. This is in What Happens in Vegas. I did a really pretty, like, kind of Thanksgiving Day look with this, and this is in Cup of Joe. This is just a great accessory palette to any bright, colorful eyeshadow palette, especially if you're traveling and you don't want to take one of the Naked Basics or you can't afford it. I don't think these are still available, but I think L'Oreal has something similar. If I can find it, I'll link it down below. But if you have this in your collection, it's such a great accessory palette. Plus, I just love taking it traveling with a brighter palette. And then this one is just beautiful with those oranges. Love it. Those are staying. All right, this is the BH Cosmetics Special Occasion palette. Guys, I never, ever use this palette. I want to. I don't know why I don't use this palette. It's so pretty. It's got such pretty shades in it, but I just never use it. This can go to somebody who's really, really going to enjoy it. I think I said in my blush tag or in my least used, I was talking about that one where I was like, I'm going to use it, and then I never did. So that one's going to go. All right, guys, this is my foiled eyeshadow palette. I want to get the new one that they just came out with all those tropical colors. I love this. It's beat to death. This is definitely staying. I have the Essential Eyes. This is another beautiful palette that I love. I think the quality of BH Cosmetics eyeshadows has really just come a long way. I don't use these as much, but when I do, I really enjoy them. I think this is such a lovely array of colors. These are actually all shimmers, but that's okay because I've got so many damn eyeshadows. It doesn't matter if I have an all shimmer palette. That one is staying. This one is the Modern Mattes. Again, I want to do some looks with these BH Cosmetics, like maybe do a tutorial. I want to start doing like tutorial series. I know you guys kind of get tutorialed out with me, but some of y'all seem to really enjoy them, where I just take a series or, you know, like all the Naked palettes or all the chocolate bar palettes or all of the 28 palettes and do like 4 or 5 tutorials in a week. Let me know if y'all would be interested in that. This is the Modern Mattes, but this is these are not the most crazy pigmented mattes. We're not talking like Kat Von D, Mi Vida Loca, but they've got quite a nice pigmentation. Some of them are a little bit more on the gritty side, like that orange, but some of them are really, really beautiful. The browns in here are really nice, and this is just one of those great palettes that I think if you're starting out in makeup or you don't have a lot of these colors, I mean, they're really, really beautiful, so that's staying. This is the Smoky Eyes palette from BH Cosmetics. Again, just another beautiful array of colors. There are, I believe these are all shimmers, right? No, there's some mattes in here. This one I have not used as much, but again, I want to dive deeper into these just because I'm just intrigued by these palettes. And I've had them for a while and I need to get off my butt and start using them. But just a beautiful array of colors, and I think it's cool to have a smoky palette that is not just completely deep, dark, and depressing. So I am keeping that one. The last of the 28 palettes that I have are the Neutral Eyes. This one's interesting to me because it's got that weird pop of pink in the middle, but this is a beautiful neutral palette. This one I think is probably the most complete. Has a nice mix of mattes and shimmers in there. Well, they're not really matte. They're more like that kind of satin finish matte. They're not, again, the most pigmented, crazy, over-the-top eyeshadows, but I think they're great for beginners, and I think these would be, I mean, they're beautiful eyeshadows. I mean, I have absolutely no problem with these. So I need to start, let me know guys if you'd be interested in seeing like a full-on swatch fest review of these 28 palettes from BH Cosmetics. I know they're relatively new, or if you want to see some tutorials just to see them in action, I'd be happy to do that. All right, I do have the Mirage palette from Coastal Scents, guys. Again, this is another sentimental palette. I did one of my very first tutorials, not the first one, but the second or third one with all these greens over here. It was based on The Hobbit, inspired by The Hobbit, because it's one of my favorite books, and Mirkwood and all that kind of stuff. So I keep this one. I don't reach for this one. I keep this for sentimental purposes. And I love that one. That one's staying. And then I do have the Metal Mania palette. This one is actually kind of ridiculous. I mean, the pigmentation on this is really, really nice. There's a really beautiful array of colors. I know I have so many eyeshadow palettes, but I never reach for this. This is gonna go. Somebody else is gonna get way more use out of it than I will. But really pretty palette. Let's talk about these. These are the Princess palettes from e.l.f. I got these just because I was collecting them, but the quality in here is really not very good at all. I think somebody else, I mean, the quality is just not good on these. I think I'm going to let these go. This is the Jasmine one. The colors are really beautiful, but just not some of e.l.f.'s best work. I think I might keep this one just because I love the packaging. Sleeping Beauty is my all-time favorite Disney movie as far as the princess movies go. But I thought the artwork on the, I think the movie is just so beautifully done, and it's so artistic, and the colors and the lines are so sharp and vivid. I don't know, it just really appeals to me. So I think I'm going to keep that one and let the other two go. I'm just keeping that one just purely for packaging reasons. I'm not gonna lie to myself. These flower eyeshadows are unbelievable. These came out in sets in Christmas time a couple years ago, but these are actually made up of quads that are available in their line. I've done a couple of tutorials with these, but I really enjoy these palettes. They're great, great quality. You know, even the mattes in here I think are what impressed me the most. They're just really nice quality. They blend really well. They make eye looks really easy to do. So I'm gonna keep those because those and the brushes are the only Flower Beauty that I have, I believe. I do have these little quads from Maybelline, the Eye Studios. They're great quality, but I never ever reach for them. Those are gonna go. I have the Disney Villains eyeshadow palette. This is cute. It's super cute, but I never use it. It's gonna go. I do have, what is this one called? The Glow eyeshadow palette from, again, this is from the e.l.f. Wet n Wild, or e.l.f. This is from the e.l.f. Princess collection. I actually really, really like this palette. I'm going to keep this one. This one is absolutely beautiful, but I think I'm going to let this one go. Yeah, that one's going to go. All right, guys, and I do have all of the Milani palettes. I really, really enjoy these. I think they're absolutely great quality. I think for now I'm going to hold on to all of these just because I love them. I have all 6 of them. So this one is Bare Necessities. This one is Earthy Elements, which is beautiful. This one is my favorite out of all of them. This is Must Have Naturals. Such a gorgeous, cool-toned palette in the drugstore. This one is Smoky Essentials. I used this one for my New Year's Eve look, New Year's 2016. This one I used for my New Year's look 2017. I think I used this one and the purple ones. So it was my part of my 31 days of tutorials. These are just great quality palettes, guys. I enjoy using these. I can't bear to let these go right now because they are very nice quality. All right, guys, let's talk about these Rimmel palettes. I actually really, really enjoy these Rimmel palettes. I think they're really good quality. I want to get some more use out of them, and I think what I want to do is do high-low comparisons to the Naked palettes just to kind of see how they line up as far as quality, color selection. But I want to get some more use out of them. But I have used all 3. I really do enjoy them. I think they make some beautiful eye looks. I think they're great palettes in the drugstore. So I'm going to hold on to these for a little bit longer. All right, guys, let's talk about some BH Cosmetics and Coastal Scents. I do have the Revealed 2 palette. I love this palette. This is one of my all-time favorite palettes. It's just so good. I love it. I know some people don't like the quality of these, but I love the quality. I love the selection. I travel with these. The one is staying. The regular Revealed is staying. I just love these. I think they're great. Definitely naked dupes. Definitely naked dupes, so I really do enjoy those. And I tend to reach for the Revealed 2 over the Naked 3, believe it or not. I do have the Shanna XO palette, which I love. I did a high-low comparison of this one and the Manny MUA palette because I did find that they were quite similar. This is such a great palette, plus you get the lipsticks, so this palette is great for travel. I will be keeping this one. I absolutely love, love, love the Carly Bible palette. I think it's great. I know some people don't like it, but I think these are just some of the best mattes BH Cosmetics has ever come out with. They're so beautiful. I like to travel with this palette. It's good. I'm keeping it. I do have this old school palette. This is the Makeup by Mandy 24. I did a Fresh Fierce Fabulous with this palette. I love this palette. I don't use it that often because you just can't get a hold of it anymore, but it's just one of my favorites. You can see it's very well loved. This one is staying I love this palette. I think this was such an underrated palette. I do have my Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies palette from BH Cosmetics. I think I'm gonna let this one go. It's beautiful, I love it. I, you know, made some really beautiful looks out of it, but I don't reach for it. I think this one's gonna go, guys. I didn't think I was gonna get rid of that one, but I am. And then I've got my Galaxy Chic palette. I absolutely adore this thing. It's so pretty. Wet, dry, I can't get over how good this palette is. It's just so beautiful. I think the colors are just gorgeous. There's some beautiful neutrals, beautiful warms, beautiful cools in here. I absolutely adore this palette. Let me want to know if I did a tutorial with this palette a while ago where I just used that palette, I believe. I didn't even bring in any matte shades because nobody's going to tell me how to live my life. But if you want to see another tutorial with this one, let me know because I love this palette. All right, couple more palettes from Profusion that I am keeping. I'm gonna keep their Smoky Eye palettes. I did use, I wanted to say it was the natural one in my 31 days of tutorials. I love these palettes. Again, they're great quality, very much like the Naked palettes in the way they're packaged and presented. But I find they have some really beautiful colors in here. This one's the Smoky, so it's got some deeper colors, some beautiful plums in there, some pinks. This one is the Natural Eyeshadow palette, which has a lot more mattes in it and just kind of some warm rosy neutrals. Really like that one. I'm keeping that one. I am going to keep, again, another Amanda Steele palette. This one is the Weekend Warrior palette. I did get this one from Octoly and I did a review on it. I really like this palette. I think the quality of the shadows is really nice. And I think there's just some really unique colors in here. So this is another great cool tone palette. So I am going to be keeping that one. All right, guys, let's talk about these beauty books from e.l.f. and Markwins, which is the company that makes Wet n Wild. These came out in Walgreens last year, and it was like everybody was kind of trying to look for them, and I think they're really beautifully put together, and I'm trying to show you all the artwork. Hold on. So the way they're presented, and I think that, again, the artwork just kind of drew me in. I love Disney. I mean, who doesn't? I know some people don't, but I really like it. I don't really use these. These kind of sit on my shelf like books, but I don't think I need all of these. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep some of my favorites, and then the other ones I'm going to let go. I love the artwork on this one. So again, these are keeping purely for packaging reasons. So I'm just gonna keep the ones that I really like because I never use these. So I'm gonna keep this one just because I love Sleeping Beauty. This is the Dare to Dream one was the Milani palette. This one actually has some beautiful colors in it, but again, I never reach for it. I'm gonna let this one go. This is the one from Pocahontas, which again just has some beautiful colors in it, but guys, I never ever reach for them. They're just sitting in my collection gathering dust. I do like the Cinderella palette. I think it's really beautiful. But again, I think I did a couple looks with this and then I never touched it again, so that one's gonna go. I do really like the Little Mermaid palette. Again, I don't think I even used this one. It was just about kind of having it. Just because I like the e.l.f. ones more than the ones that were made by Markwins, just because I feel like the artwork was a little bit better. And I feel like they were just a little bit more beautiful. So I'm going to keep that one. This is the Jasmine one. This is what it looks like inside. Again, I don't even think I've opened this one. I just wanted, to have the little books because, I have all those built-ins where I have my books in my room, and these just kind of blend right in. I think I might keep that one. That's what I'm going to do, guys. I think I'm probably going to end up keeping the e.l.f. ones and getting rid of the other ones. This is the Beauty and the Beast one, which is really lovely. That's what it looks like on the inside. So I think I'll keep that one. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give this one to my sister because she loves Beauty and the Beast. So I'm going to give that one to her. All right, guys, I do have the Snow White beauty book, which is really pretty. I think I'm going to keep that one. Guys, I'm sorry, my I'm having focusing issues today. But I am going to keep the Elsa beauty book. Again, I'm not going to be using it. It's just pretty, and I just want to keep it. So that one's staying. Then I also have the Villains one that came out, the most recent one. This is the one from Ursula. I think I'm going to give this one away. I'm gonna give away the Evil Queen. I actually did a Halloween look with this one. Actually not a bad little palette, but I am gonna give that one away. And then I have the Maleficent one, which I kind of want to keep this one because I love Beauty and the Beast so much. I mean, Beauty and the Beast, Sleeping Beauty so much. Ooh. You know what? I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to keep that one, and I think I'm going to get rid of the Snow White and the Jasmine one. So there, we'll do that. I almost forgot to show you. I do have the Sonia Kashuk palette, the Eyes on Neutral Matte palette. I am keeping this one. And that's everything. Now, again, I did go back through and just find some more things that I could get rid of. I am going to go ahead and get rid of this Elsa palette. I'm going to get rid of this Twinkle Twinkle palette. I'm never going to use it. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one since I'm keeping both of those beauty books. All right, guys. So this is everything I'm getting rid of. In total, I'm getting rid of 38 drugstore palettes. This is, guys, that's just telling my collection is ridiculous. So, I mean, I was like, oh, I have a good handle on my collection. It's not too crazy. Everything fits, everything. It's amazing how much crap you can store if you have a good system. But so 38, almost 40 eyeshadow palettes are going to be gone. I didn't think I was going to get rid of nearly this many, but I'm really happy that I did. I'm going to be, again, passing these on. They're going to be clean or sanitized, cleaned up, and they're going to be passed along to friends and family. Any friends and family or anything that's not wanted by friends and family, I'll probably just pass on to girls at work or donate them, or, you know, a bunch of my co-workers have daughters, you know, younger kids that I think some of this makeup would be appropriate for, just to play around with in playtime. So I am definitely going to be so I'm definitely happy with this result right here, and I think it's great that we're getting rid of this many eyeshadow palettes. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and really encouraging me throughout the series. You guys are awesome. You are really helping me to clean out my collection. I'm feeling inspired, and I feel like we're doing some damage. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out and decluttering with me today. I think I'm gonna do one more declutter. No, I'm going to do two. I'm going to do my eyeshadow singles. I'm going to do liners and mascaras, and then I'm just going to do a palette collection video, high-end palette collection video, and that one's going to be long, and then we'll get back to our regularly scheduled program next week. Hopefully my allergies will be under control by then. But guys, thanks so much for hanging out, talking about makeup with me. I love you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye!